Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining me on Crypto Evolution. This is the second video. The first one was just an introduction, just to let you know what the channel's about. Firstly, I really appreciate your time in watching that video. I got quite a few responses there, and I got more views than I actually thought I would. So really happy that. Thanks for some of the crypto community. Today's video is going to be about blockchain. It's our first topic, is blockchain. I'm going to keep it very simple. Looking at my audience that never heard of a blockchain or what it's about, I'm going to go through just a couple of bits and pieces, keep it nice and easy, just to explain what a blockchain is. All right, so stay tuned. Look, if you can, hit the likes, hit the subscribe, tick that little bell for notifications. And once again, thanks for watching. So here is blockchain. Okay, so what's a blockchain? I'm going to keep it simple, as I said. Now, essentially a blockchain is, in the simplest of terms, it's a timestamp series of immutable records, okay? So it cannot be changed. So it's immutable records of data. It's managed by a cluster of computers not owned by any single entity. That's the most important bit. It's not centralized, okay? There's not some little computer sitting there working out all the transactions, sitting in a warehouse or Bob's basement. It's literally millions and millions of computers around the world in different locations that help verify the transactions. They're called miners or nodes. Okay, so why that's important is it's not easily hacked. It's never been hacked. Okay, it's the most secure network in the world. And as more computers or miners come online, it just gets stronger. It actually strengthens the network. So it's very important. Okay, so each of these blocks of data, okay, is secured and bound to each other using cryptographic principles, forming a chain. So the transactions go on the blockchain. Once it forms or fills a block, that block's then added to the previous one to form a chain. That's how we get blockchain, okay? Now, another analogy is picture a spreadsheet that's duplicated thousands of times across a network, okay? So you've got a spreadsheet, it's duplicated thousands or millions of times across a network of computers. Now imagine that this network is designed to regularly update the spreadsheet. That's a blockchain, okay? So look, it's very important that we understand the fact that it is decentralized 100%, okay? There's no single country, okay, that could actually use all that data. There's nothing. Look, everything's on the blockchain, so I can see any transaction that's ever occurred if I wanted to. Okay, it's transparent, very important. It's immutable. It cannot be changed. Okay, so that's also another very important aspect. Okay, look, I've got that image in the background. Okay, if you just have a look at that, that kind of basically briefly explains it all. Okay, so Jim wants to send money to Mary. The transaction is represented online as a block. The block gets distributed across the network. So as we talked about those computers and the miners, the nodes, okay? The network verifies the transaction is valid. So these miners are making out quite complex mathematical algorithms using those cryptographic principles, okay? Now the block is added to the chain, reconciling across the network and creating a permanent record. Okay, Jim's record of ownership of the money moves to Mary. Okay, so it's very simple. Okay, transactions made, transactions sent to the network. The computers start working out or verifying that transaction. I mean, it sounds simple. Oh yeah, okay, it just verified a transaction, but it's actually, and I'll get into this in another video. It's actually going to be another video, maybe by itself. We'll see how much content it is, but when Satoshi Nakamoto created Bitcoin and the blockchain, there had been so many different forms of digital cash already created, but they hadn't sorted out the double spend problem, which I'm going to go through. Okay, so these networks and these miners work out is there a duplicate transaction on the network, the double spend. Okay, so once it's worked out, it's added to the block. Okay. It's verified, added to the chain, I should say, and then Jim gets his money. So that's a simple form, and I just use that as an example to show you what a blockchain is. Okay, look, just to continue on, look, I've got a little bit of information, and I am reading from a few notes I made. So Blockchain's going to be used for more than currency, okay, or transactions. To give you an idea of how seriously it's been studied and adopted, IBM, and this was 2 years ago, has 1,000 employees working just on blockchain powered projects. They've also set aside $200 million for development. Financial and tech firms invested an estimated $1.4 billion in blockchain. That was in 2016, and with an increase to $2.1 billion in 2018. So companies are taking this seriously. Big companies, they can't just dive right in if they don't have it right. So they're doing a lot of work in the background, particularly banks. I mean, if you can send a transaction, and one of the projects I'm going to talk about is XRP or Ripple at some point, but I'll leave that for another video. But essentially, if you've got banks that are saving billions and billions of dollars just in transaction fees, or not having to have their money stored in different countries, that's a lot of money left to the bottom line there of banks, okay? And you think if one bank's going to do it, they're not all going to want to do it. Why would they want their competition making billions more profit than them? So there's a race going on in the background. So it's going to be some interesting, but I want to give you a couple of ideas of, where blockchain can be utilized. One of my most interesting things that I think about is voting, polling. There's so many, particularly the government polls I'm talking about, but there's so many issues there with, corruption and things like that. I won't name any countries, but if you had the voting on a blockchain, which is immutable, it's transparent, okay, it brings a bit of, validity to it. It shows it hasn't been tampered with. So there's actually a company out there, which I might even review them at some point. I'm not getting paid for this review, but and I won't go into full detail, but there's a company called ClearPoll, okay, ClearPoll, and they essentially have that. You can have an app on your phone, okay, and you can take part in certain voting. It's all done on the blockchain. So you've got all these different polls and voting you can do, and it can't be changed. And that's important, I think, especially when you talk about government voting. Okay, we go to the polls, we don't know what happens. It's all still done on paper, So something on the internet which can't be changed. And like I said, it is controlled by millions of computers on the network. But look, have a look at ClearPoll. At the moment, it's obviously not government voting just yet, but I'll tell you what, it's not that far away. At the moment, they've got more social voting and things like that, just to test and see how they're going. I haven't checked in with them for a while. I looked at them about 12 months ago. I know they're still going, but it'd be interesting to see where that project goes to anyways. Now, there's another thing, is supply chain auditing is going to be huge. And consumers are increasingly want to know that the ethical claims that companies make for their products are real. Distributed ledgers provide, or blockchain provide, an easy way to certify that the backstories of their things we buy are genuine. Okay, so transparency comes with blockchain-based timestamping of a date and location on ethical diamonds, for instance. Okay, you'll know where it was received from, where it's been transported to, and every part about that diamond, which cannot be changed. Okay, so it's good to know you're not getting what they call a blood diamond. Okay, another interesting use of blockchain will be file storage. So decentralizing file storage on the internet brings clear benefits. The distribution of data throughout the network protects files from getting hacked or lost. Medical records, okay, just company records in itself, tax records, things like that. Okay, it's not one sitting in one central place that can be tampered with. Okay, another big one is going to be identity management. So there's a definite need for better identity management on the web. The ability to verify your identity is the linchpin of financial transactions that happen online. So the current methods are just fraught with issues, really. You're sending your copy of your license or passport, and you might not have had to do it, but it is happening out there. But you're sending it online, and you don't know where it's being stored on one particular computer. So having a decentralized version in millions of computers around the world is a definite benefit. Okay, and also I should note that even though it's on millions or parts of it on millions of computers around the world, doesn't mean that can be hacked. It actually makes the network more secure. Okay, it's going to be encrypted files, so you can't just I can find Joe's license. It's not going to be like that. They're going to be encrypted files across a distributed network. Okay, so look, that's all I wanted to talk about. A few benefits of blockchain. I hope I've kept it simple. Okay, so transactions get sent to computers or miners. Those miners verify the transaction. Once it's done, it's created into a block. The block is put onto the previous block to form a chain, blockchain. That's a simple. It's very simple. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that just about wraps it up. So look, I've just brought up the webpage there of ClearPoll, and feel free to go have a look at it, clearpoll.com. Like I said, it's not a paid advertising or anything. I just think it was I guess, relevant to what we're talking about. So actually just had a quick look on their website, and you can earn crypto or rewards just for taking part, I believe, in the voting. So have a look. And look, I hope I simplified it for everyone. Okay, I could have made it more complex, but what's the point? We're here to learn about these sorts of things, so no point making it complicated. So look, if you can, smash the like, click the subscribe, tick that little bell for notifications, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks again. Bye.